Okay, last video I talked about centimeters, and I just want to clarify that centimeters can be written out in word form, right? So it'd be centimeters, but to save time and space, you will see this a lot. So it's just an abbreviation, a C and an M, and they mean the exact same thing, okay? So centimeters and centimeters. And when you do your measuring, if you find something that is 7 centimeters tall, then you will write 7, and then you can write centimeters. Got to make sure you remember that unit of measurement in your work. All right, look at your rulers. Do you see the marks between the centimeters? So if we look at a ruler, it looks just like this, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in between there, we have lots of little ticks, right? So these little ticks are measurements in themselves. Those measurements are millimeters. We use the word millimeters. We also use an abbreviation. MM means millimeters, but we also use the word millimeters. So each centimeter is divided into smaller units. Oh, but how many smaller units actually? Do you guys have a prediction? How many do you think? Well, we can count them again. I went up to 5 there, so let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So every centimeter is made up of 10 millimeters. It is hard to count every millimeter in a measurement, but there's a quick way to do it. So I want to find 26 millimeters. So we can think of this as jumping to 20 right away. So we can jump to 20, right? And then we can count 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So right here would be 26. Now let's draw marks for 32 millimeters and 41. Okay, so again, we can count by tens to get to 30, just right here. I hope you guys can see that. And then we can add the extra 2, so we could just count an extra 31 right there and 32. So 32 would be right there, that last red mark that I made. And then for 41, we could count all the way to 40 and then just count an extra 1 millimeter right there. And there you have it. Now let's measure this strip in millimeters. The other class we were doing it in centimeters. This time we're going to do it in millimeters because it asks in millimeters. So take a look. So we can jump up to 20 because 20 is right there. And then we can count an extra 1, 2, 3. So that is 23 millimeters. So that, I should do that again just so it looks a bit better. The mm is what you would put behind your measurement, right? Just to show that you're doing it in millimeters and not centimeters. Okay. Let's measure this strip as well. So we can go all the way to 40 right away. And let's get a little bit closer. Okay. So here we are at 40, but the strip goes all the way to 41, 42. So that would be 42 millimeters. This one, it would be 30 is right here. And we can count another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 35 millimeters. There we have it. Which 2 centimeter marks is 24 millimeters between? So here we have our ruler in centimeters. tell that it's centimeters because it has the cm, which stands for centimeters. So we have to find first 24 centimeters. So we know that these individual ticks are all 1 millimeter, which means 1 centimeter is 10 millimeters. 2 centimeters is 20 millimeters. 3 centimeters is 30 millimeters, and 4 centimeters, 40, 50, 60, and so on. So 24 millimeters. So we can go all the way to 20 millimeters at the 2, and then we can add 4 more millimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4. So right there is 24 millimeters. So which centimeter marks is it in between? Well, it's in between the 2 and the 3. So for this answer, we would say 2 and 3. So like I said before, there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So up here you can see the centimeters, right? You can see the centimeters up here and then the millimeters down here. So every 1 centimeter is made up of 10 millimeters. 2 centimeters is 20 millimeters. 3 is 30, and 4 is 40. So while we go up by 1 in centimeters, we go up in 10 in millimeters. So we're just skip counting by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, and so on and so forth. Okay, which one is longer, 7 centimeters or 30 millimeters? So the easiest thing to do is make them the same unit of measurement. This one is in centimeters, this one is in millimeters. So how about let's make the centimeters into millimeters, which means we have to, instead of making this 7, we have to count by 10 7 times. So if you know your multiplication tables, you could also multiply it by 10. But the 7 now becomes 70. So 70 millimeters compared to 30 millimeters. Well, which one's bigger? Well, it's pretty obvious that the 70 is bigger than the 30.